They put you in those situations where it's high pressure.
Yeah.
Your emotions are running. They probably
Right.
sleep deprive
Oh
you
yeah,
a
this
little
shit makes
bit.
for good TV.
Point when you get on those shows, you really have to ball up and take advantage of that virality.
And I learned that from the grocery games experience because I wasn't set up, and I wasn't thinking about the after effects, right?
Who is the most famous person that you've cooked a meal for, if you're allowed to say?
Shaq. Shaq was all right. So
I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Ain't no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for greatness. They paper getters. They want money more than they want fame.
Welcome back. Joining us today is a special guest. I say all our guests are special, but this one's been close to my heart. We've been trying to make it happen. It's finally in the city. Joining us today is celebrity chef and musician Ed Porter, who premiered on the Pressure Cooker on Netflix. Also was on Guy Fieri. Taught me how to say the word
There
today.
you go.
Actually,
You
so
got it.
I crushed
100%.
it. I crushed it.
My guy.
And he was also on Grocery Games multiple times. And there was one that didn't air because he just he said the producer said it was like watching a football game that was 100-0. So it never came out, but they paid him for it. But thanks for showing up, Chef.
thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you.
No, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man.
We got a lot of things that I want to talk about. We're gonna try to make it
No,
short.
let's do it.
We're gonna try to make it
let's
short.
don't make it
but
short.
To ice break it, I'm super curious where the combination of being a chef and musician came about.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I got into food to pay for studio time. It's simply put, it was to be exactly 100%. I had no aspirations. I didn't know anything about being a chef. That wasn't on the list that my guidance counselor gave me. It was never on there. So I just fell into it, bro. And I started to see the similarities though. The symbiotic things between the hospitality industry and the entertainment industry. They're so intertwined. They really are.
Very much.
I mean that is incredibly true. And where did you grow up for the people?
I grew up in the Bronx.
That's what I thought. So
yeah.
how did growing up in the Bronx obviously pushes you towards music? That's kind of the culture, but like when did like the cooking part come about?
So to be completely frank, there was so my friend, one of my best friends growing up, his nickname is Chef. He was a poorly kid, but not because he cooked. That's my guy. Yeah, that's my guy. So it was a combination of Job Corps. So I did a stint in Job Corps too. So at Job Corps, I was getting a lot of shit in the city, and my mom was just like, "Yo, you wilding. You're going to Job Corps. You're getting off the street. So you have to pick a trade, and so hotel restaurant cook was one of the things. So it was like HVAC. What else was in that shit?
Probably like auto trade.
Yeah. Carpet, installer
Right,
and shit.
yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be where the food's at.
Yeah.
And that was just simply because of that, and that transformed into open my world up to there's a way to go from that. So you can be but still at that point it was just like you could be a cook at a hotel or in a restaurant.
Right.
Never the heights of. There was no Food Network.
So how did you even get into like the food and TV world? Because obviously you obviously got into culinary, you started whipping it up. But where did the jump to TV? Because a lot of people are in the kitchen, but not a lot are actually making the jump to reality TV.
So that came about for me. I remember I was on a flight. So one of my mentors, Marcus Samuelson, had one of the very first cooking shows. He had a show called Inner Chef with Marcus Samuelson. I believe that was on Discover.
Yeah.
I was on a flight from LA to New York with a TV producer that worked on that show. And he was filming a little-known show now called Top Chef.
A little-known show
called Top
Just a
Chef.
little bit.
And I was asked to apply for that. Like, it doesn't really have a name. But I was opening a restaurant at the time. And I didn't do it. Right. I could have did it. Kicked myself in the ass for that. Hindsight being 2020, but from sending your audition tape, you're in like the circuit.
Yeah.
And so it's all 100%. So what your parents used to say to you, it's about your attitude. It's really personality, what they were trying to say. You know, be a pleasing fucking personality, and people will fuck with you. So I guess that circulated for a while, and I would start getting emails from all kinds of shit. And I got an email about grocery games. So this was season 1, so it was brand new. And I sent another tape in for that. And then ever since then, it's like once you're in the system,
right?
You're in the circuit. Yeah, it's like having priors.
You're in the system. It makes sense though. It makes sense.
It's like having a resume. It's just being able to be like, hey, we know what we're gonna get if we bring this guy on.
Exactly.
So you obviously were on a hit. So like Pressure Cooker was actually a big hit on Netflix.
It was a smash.
And so it was like top 10, which is pretty incredible.
In a couple countries. Yeah.
My curious thing is, what was your biggest challenge about the show that the actual show didn't air?
So it's aptly named. So we didn't know, like I didn't know there wasn't going to be any judges or shit. Like we had no idea, right? So they put you in this situation. So a pressure cooker develops intense flavors in a short amount of time. That show developed intense relationships with people in a short amount of time because we all we had. Then you had to cannibalize each other.
Yeah,
no, that's really what it was.
Because like, you guys were voting on each other.
Yeah, so this shit was crazy.
Yeah.
So it was so much more like the real world, where it's based off of some aspects are based off of relationships and personality. So
that's my point. Is like
that was hard.
Exactly. So how do you navigate a cooking show that isn't just cooking but politics, friendships? Like how are you navigating something?
How
like
does
that?
Anybody get it? Listen, check this out. You have applicant A and applicant B. Applicant A happens to have a brother that works at said company. I'm going to go ahead and say that applicant A has a better shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it was all relationships. So what was your game plan going into it then?
My game plan was not to play any of that shit. It was because I know from doing TV that this is going to be the biggest commercial that I can never afford.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm 100% authentically myself 100% of the time, and if I go out on my morals and putting what is on the plate, I'm fine with it. So I was like, I didn't want to play because it's not. I understand that at the end of the day, it comes down to maybe the status quo shit is on some relationships, but it literally comes down to, at the end of the day, skill set.
What was it like after being on that show? What type of love did you receive? Obviously, like social media blew up. Like, what type of attention did you get out of that? Because you were just saying, like, I wasn't going to play the politics. Yeah. I was going to be me. So what type of what did you get back from that?
The response I got back was amazing. So I was getting a lot of messages from all over the world, too. So I had to hit the translate button. And it's like people had a reverence for how, I carry myself. So, like, integrity. And I got a little flack about the crying and shit. I'm not, because here's the thing, I'm not an emotional dude. I don't.
I feel like reality takes they want that they put you in those situations where it's high pressure.
Yeah,
your emotions are running. They probably sleep deprived.
Yeah, this shit makes for good TV.
It's great TV. Exactly.
So
they want you to break.
That's the whole point, is to put you in situations where you have the highest probability of fucking shattering. And I want to film this car crash. You cannot not watch a car crash. This is what it is. Like you said, dude, you hope that dude crashes on the bike.
Yeah.
Remember?
Real.
That's real talk. Like, I'm just praying, dude. I just want to see.
I just want to see it.
It's like the meme. I forgot. It's like David Dobrik, where that came from. Is when he would make his vlogs, he would want something bad to happen. He'd be like, all right, this is the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's like that's reality TV.
It's for real. It really is.
So after that, obviously you were really started to build a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Since, who is the most famous person that you've cooked a meal for, if you're allowed to say?
The most famous that I've cooked. Oh, that's like since or before? Like
ever.
Oh shit!
I assumed it would have been after, but it might have been before.
Nah, like it was before. Like I've done so at Aquavit. I remember the coolest person that I met in that regard, Shaq.
Oh, Shaq.
Shaq was all right. So,
what is Shaq ordering? Like,
this is the funny shit. So this is the funny. So he comes. Aquavit's it's a fine dining establishment, right? So everything's top tier. It's a Scandinavian, themed restaurant. Yeah. Dude comes in. He was like, "Y'all ain't got no burgers." Like, nah. No, like, no. Like, so, but what we did is I ground up some venison because we didn't have regular beef. You know, nobody's grounding up filet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, ground up some venison and we made him a venison burger.
Yeah.
And then I wound up being on the menu later on. So
was it just like a 1 pound burger? Or did you like give him a Shaq?
No.
Burger, like
He got the
burger?
fine dining portions. You just eat. If you got to eat several of them, you got to eat several of them. You know,
okay.
Big guy. But yeah, he came in, and this is in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and I don't. Yeah, it must have been a game. It must have been playing against the Timberwolves. I had no other reason for Shaq to spin off, and especially then. But yeah, dude had and the burger. So all right, because it is a fine dining, it wasn't like a regular burger either. So it was like on its side. It's on sourdough, like I guess you would say it's toast, no edges, grilled. It had a rosemary sprig to the middle. It shit was crazy. I got a picture somewhere.
Did he like it? Did he like it?
Oh, he smashed it. It could have been because it was small.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I mean, but he seemed to like it. We asked him, he said he enjoyed it. But he was super cool. And then I met him 3 times.
Yeah, Shaq's.
And each time I
like
met him, I remind him that I met him before. Of course, I know you don't remember, but he was cordial enough to be like, yeah, I know. Yeah.
You played it nice.
Right.
You played it nice. I love that. You know, obviously, we introduced you as chef and musician.
Yeah.
You got some new music coming November 3rd.
November 3rd.
I got a sneak peek at it, so I don't want to talk too much about it because obviously this has probably come out before then.
Yeah.
But talk about that. I want you to talk about your music career and where it's progressed because we kind of talked, you know, one-off about that the album kind of symbolized a lot of maturity, family, being a dad.
Yeah.
But talk about from the beginning of your music career till now, like this new project, like what's gone into that.
Yeah, so what's funny to me is that like either people know me for music or they know me for food, like one or the other. And more people obviously know me for food because of Netflix.
Yeah.
So I again, like I said, I got into music a long time ago, and I've been in several groups. I've opened for acts for Camp Low. I've done shows at Manhattanville College and traveled the Chitlin circuit. Was about to sign major deals a couple times. Young and immature, and things, shit hit the fan. Prideful, wanting things to be a certain way, and it was a weird time. So like the late 90s, early 2000s, the industry was changing to the tech era. Yeah. It was a fucked up bubble to be in, to be completely honest. So the industry just at one swift point fucking changed, and computers got better, and you no longer have. I fucking wish, like, I'd probably be dead in a pool full of coke if things would have went the way I wanted them to go. If we had the technology back in the days that we have now, like we would. It was no way. If I have a mobile studio in a backpack. Are you serious? I can,
It's drastically different now.
But then again, if that was the way it was, I wouldn't have had to be a chef to pay for studio time. Right. So I was working to pay for Quad, working to pay for D&D, and I wouldn't have to do that. And who knows what the fuck would have happened. But music has taken me a lot of places, met some really cool people. And how it all came about, doing that song, Pressure Cooker. So the Pressure Cooker song is what set it off me doing, and then it sparked the idea of pairing the two together intentionally. So I did that song for the show. It was supposed to be an ode just for the show. I was just, because I came up with the hook on the show. They didn't air that. I thought it was perfect. They should have, though. I'm like, this song should be on the show. It didn't make it on the show. Then just the competitor in me was like, well, I'm putting this shit out. Yeah. And I dropped it the same day as the show dropped, and it took off. I'm like, oh shit, let me do this project now. I can focus on it, and it's fun because it's not like I don't have to pay the rent with it. It's just like I get to do it, but I have still all the connects I had. You know what I'm saying? When you're a good that's the thing about being a solid individual too. So I pulled off what usually takes people to do in a couple years in 2 months.
Yeah,
you kind of took advantage of that time with the Netflix series.
Exactly.
But that's the biggest point. When you get on those shows, you really have to ball up and take advantage of that virality.
And I learned that from the Grocery Games experience because I wasn't set up, and I wasn't thinking about the after effects, right? The TV effect, and harnessing, like as they say, that 15 minutes of fame and whatever, parlaying that into being whatever it is.
Are you looking to do any more TV? Are you looking to like kind of get into something else or no?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a great vehicle, great springboard vehicle to anything, right? Obviously, the name of the game is eyes, right? So it's what everything's about right now is eyes, eyeballs, and clicks, right? So the more out in the front you are, the more opportunities you have to do whatever it is you want to do, and to help push different agendas. And my agenda, to be completely honest, is about doing quality shit with quality people. That's all I want to do. I just want to do cool shit with cool fucking people.
Yeah. And you mentioned you wanted to infuse music and food,
yeah.
Which is like, when you think about it, like, elaborate onto that. Like, what do you mean by infusing music and food?
All right, so everywhere you go in every walk of life, food and music are paired together, but not intentionally. One is subservient to the other. So you go to a restaurant. Matter of fact, I urge you to try this not being the case, and shit will be very weird. Go to a restaurant and then know somebody at the restaurant and tell them to turn the music off. The shit feels weird. Like,
for sure.
It just feels weird. Matter of fact, when they want you to leave, they turn the lights on and cut the music off. Yeah. And you just automatically feel uncomfortable.
For sure.
So
they do that shit at the club.
Yep, shut it off, turn the lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because
it makes you feel weird. When there's that many people in an area and it's silent, it makes people want to be quiet. You don't feel comfortable. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic. Right. And when you go to like an event or whatever, they'll have some pasta hors d'oeuvre just to keep your ass captive, right? One is subservient to the other. Never before are the two headlining to tell one singular story, ever. There's not an instance you can give me where it
So
is.
what do you mean by that? Like, am I cooking Mexican food? So I got some.
All right, so let's take the Day Zero. So my album Day Zero, which means from scratch, right? There's 12 songs on the album. The 12 songs are laid out in courses. There's a course that is paired with the song. The song inspired the course inspired the song, and the dish. So, all right, so I coursed it out. There's specific things: amuse, intermezzo, fish course, meat course, all these cheese, soup, salad. So the songs are in line with the song, the origin of the song, time frame, the thought process of where I was at when I created the song, and then everything is just it's just like quadruple entendres. Everything is related in some way, even down to like the namesakes. So I'm a big person about intentionality. So the first track on the album, which is not a course, is called mise en place. Mise en place is a culinary term that means everything in its place. If you listen to that track and say you don't know what that word means, after listening to it and somebody explain, okay, that means everything in its place, like, oh shit, like that makes total sense. And it sets the album off. And then it just everything is purposeful. So like with food, we make plates. The mark of I believe a good chef is there's no unnecessary shit on the plate.
Yeah.
Everything is there for a reason. It serves a purpose. And everything in that album is intent. There's no extra salt or pepper needed. All modifications are politely fucking declined. And then
it's like being a movie director. Everything matters.
Exactly.
Especially as you go to like the higher up places. But as we kind of wrap this up, I want to ask this one question that I left you in the elevator. I was going to give you a surprise because I wanted it in the moment. If you had the power to change one thing about the world, what would it be?
It would be that violence wouldn't be the third most powerful power. So the three, I think, universal languages on the planet is food, music, and violence. Everybody understands the left hook, any language. Everybody understands music that moves your soul and spirit, and everybody understands something that's tasty. You don't have to. You can go anywhere where you don't speak the language and have one of those three things, and you know what it is. I believe that people are more alike than they are different. We have more commonalities than anything else, and at the end of the day, it's just about doing cool shit with cool people. And if we took that and really harnessed that and really stood on that, the world would be a great place. But then again, you wouldn't appreciate the good shit. So you gotta have the villain.
For sure.
The villain is necessary.
I've been saying that a lot, and we've kind of always said that with content, like through our progression, is like we watch our old stuff, we're like, man, this sucked. It sucked, but you can't have good without the bad.
You had to have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
If it was always sunny,
it wouldn't.
You know what I'm saying?
If everything's good, it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good. So
For sure.
That's a good answer, but Chef, man, it's been a
appreciate
real
you.
pleasure.
Oh man, thank you guys, man.
I'm so excited for what you got going. I'm excited for your album to release because I got the sneak peek. I'm excited to give it.
Yeah, can you plug the plug the album?
plug
When
it.
does it drop?
Yeah.
Where can they find it?
Yeah, so National Holiday 11/3, which is also my birthday.
go.
The album Day Zero comes out, and it's going to be also tied to an experience. So the pairing. So the Day Zero experience is the experience of the album in its all its true form. So that's coming to a city near you. So we planning to travel to different markets and maybe internationally doing it because
awesome.
it's universal. Because I can.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm really excited for it. But Chef, thank you.
Thank you,
you, Chef.
Real pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for greatness. They paper getters, they want money more than they want fake shit. I swear we go so hard, we on A-list. I see my niggas prevailing. We going hard for the hand. We gonna stack till we jaded. I just told my niggas that we on a mission. Yeah. It's gonna be hard to get it. We too on par for the misses. I put my heart and my feelings on tracks I don't even feel. We bout till we drip. We bout till we fall.